Hi, everyone, and welcome to How Gridiron Strategy Shapes Leadership. This is a special edition of Beyond the Game. So, why are we doing this, Dr. Carol? Well, we are doing this because this weekend was just so fascinating for me. Uh, just learning and seeing how the CFP chose the top four teams uh, and the rankings, the 12 top teams from the rankings there. I was just intrigued and I'm learning so much. So, again, welcome to this special edition of Beyond the Game, where the tactical brilliance of the gridiron meets the transformative power of leadership. Now, in this unique episode, we delve into intriguing parallels between the strategic plays of college football and the masterful art of leadership. So that was a pause there, right? So join me as we explore now how the lessons from the field can inspire and shape leaders off and on the field. Really drawing insights from the recent NCAA playoffs and the leadership stories behind them. Now, get ready, guys, to see the game of football in a whole new light as we uncover the tactics, resilience, and teamwork that makes champions, both on the field and in the boardroom. So, in my journey with the Gridiron Leaders, the Art of Leadership Meets the Hearts of Sportsmanship podcast series, I uh, I delve deeply into the world of college sports, specifically the NCAA and the Power Five playoffs. This exploration began as a magazine concept, but I soon pivoted to a podcast format for cost efficiency and accessibility purposes. I really, I think there are a lot of women like me out there that really, or and maybe even guys that don't even understand the background of all of these things. And I think if you understood, you'd be more intrigued by things that are happening in front of you that entertain you. I know I am definitely more intrigued. So the announcement of Michigan, Washington, Texas, and Alabama as the top four teams and the college playoff sets the stage for an exciting conclusion to the college football season. Each team brings its unique strengths and stories, histories to the playoffs, promising competitive matchups and high stakes games. So I decided to dive in and do a little research. And I was talking to my cousin who lives on the West Coast in California, in LA last night, as well as some other people that was calling me, knowing that, you know, what I do. We were talking back and forth yesterday on Sunday, and I was just like blown away. I don't have to, but a lot of times I'll take note of conversations I've had, even conversations that I may have around the bar where I get a lot of content from just talking to people. I meet a lot of leaders around the bar. Yes, Marilyn hangs out sometimes at the bar. It's a great conversation area, especially if you're a single person. And for me, I like to get to know people. I work from home. And so it's a great opportunity for me to connect. And I have found some great contacts this way. So, at any rate, let me talk a little bit about each of the teams, the top four, number one through four. So Michigan, we know, was named number one, got the number one ranking. And they are known for their strong defensive play and efficient, not ethical, but efficient offense. Michigan has constantly demonstrated resilience and skills throughout the season. Their place in the top four is a testament to their solid performance and strategic prowess. Number two is Washington. Washington's inclusion reflects their impressive season marked by dynamic offensive strategies and a formidable defense. They're shown that they can adapt and overcome various challenges, making them really a contender in these playoffs. Now, number three is Texas. Texas out of Austin, Longhorns. Texas brings a mix of explosive offense and steady defense. They got them both, guys. Their ability to perform in high pressure situations has been a highlight of their season, earning them a spot among the elite. So then, of course, what would this thing be like without Alabama? Roll Tide, a regular in the CFP, Alabama's reputation for excellence continues, known for their all-around strong play, really, guys, disciplined approach, and experienced coaching. They are always a team to watch for in the playoffs. So as I examined the selection process for the top 12 teams and the upcoming playoff games during the holiday season, I found myself drawing parallels to my extensive experience as a manager and business owner and hiring and team selection process in a corporate setting. And that really provided me with a familiar framework for understanding the complex dynamics of playoff selections in college football. So naturally, as a professor, our job is to a lot of times blend real life with what the foundational aspects of what students are learning in the classroom. And so this particular series I dedicate to those students that are getting an MBA. I dedicate this to you who are planning and trying to get into the realm of leadership at a higher level. Hey, my hat's off to you guys. Now, I have a chart that I'll post out there with this if you're on LinkedIn or even on Facebook or any of the other social media posts where I am. You can get a link to this to the podcast. I'll share that with everyone. So first, let's start with this comparison. Because I'll say this, I was particularly intrigued because I tried to comprehend why teams like Florida, who never lost any games this year, for this past football season 23, and then Georgia, who didn't get the cut because they were number one for the most part, I thought, up until the game on Saturday, the SEC championship. And now Florida is number 5 and Georgia is number 6. So my approach again to learning has always been about connecting new information with my existing knowledge base and then taking a deep dive into the college football playoffs with this new information with my existing knowledge. It's like marrying it, the recipe for success in my book. So my analogy between the selection process for the Rose Bowl and the job interview, I'll take that one, is quite insightful. So because it had 3 different ones that could have been selected for that Rose Bowl. We had Alabama, we had Florida, and we had Alabama, Florida, and Georgia, the 3 contenders. And this happens a lot when we're doing a job interview process. So here are some of the parallels that I pull from this. Performance and track record. Just like job candidates are evaluated based on their skills and past performance, football teams are assessed on their season's performance. Florida's undefeated season and Georgia's strong record are very impressive. They have very impressive resumes going into this. However, like job scenarios, past performance, while crucial, isn't the only factor. Now, take the head-to-head competitions and key victories. Alabama's victory over Georgia is a significant factor here. Like a candidate who has proven success in a directly relevant or challenging situation, this head-to-head comparison can be a deciding factor, just as in a job scenario where a specific relevant experience may give one candidate the edge over the others. Now, next, take the conceptual challenges and team dynamics in dealing with this. Florida's situation with their quarterbacks can be likened to a candidate facing unexpected challenges or changes in their role. Adapting to and managing such challenges is a valued skills in the professional world. And I came up against this. I had family challenges this year. I had another mindset goal set for where I was going this particular year, and it didn't happen with 2 family illnesses or my daughter's pregnancy, and then which was a at-risk pregnancy, a higher at-risk pregnancy, and then my mom having a heart attack. I mean, not a heart attack, but having heart failure and a stroke during the this year. So it took my world in totally different directions. I had to pivot and make some unexpected changes. Then inside of all of that, not getting something else, it's been a lot of pivoting this year for me. So, but that being said, I hope you get an idea of how you have to pivot. Something that could have brought me in quite a bit and helped me get to the next level. And my goals I had to stop. And the better candidates had to, or individuals for the role that I was going for, were chosen. And so the overall impact of team balance, the decision to choose Alabama could also be influenced by the team's overall impact in the tournament dynamics. And this is akin to selecting a job candidate who fulfills the role requirements, but others may bring a unique value or balance to the team. Maybe they have a connection with some pivotal people in the particular industry that individual happens to be going in, or they happen to be dynamic with the particular client that they're going after. In my case, when I first got the job at what is now Truist, I got that job, and even at Invesco, when I worked at Invesco and as well as Truist, I got those roles because I had that particular unique skill set that others did not have. Would they have chosen me based on my pedigree? No, they probably would not have. But they had to throw the pedigree out the door and go with what it was that I brought to the table. So I became the more valued candidate there. And I do know that my role and what I played and the results they got that and then some. They bet on the right one. And so that's a lot of times what's going on in some of these selection processes. I know in the world of work it happens, but seemingly this seems to be the case in Major League Football and other things as well. So subjective factors and controversies, just as in hiring decisions where sometimes subjective judgments or controversial choices are made, the selection of the teams for the bowl games can also involve subjective judgments beyond just win-loss records. Okay, and then the sixth thing I looked at was strategic considerations. In both scenarios, strategic considerations play a role. The Rose Bowl may be about audience interest, rivalry histories, and marketability of the whole concept of who are the four, how are we going to get people in the seats? All of that plays an extremely valuable role. Now, just think about it. I know Georgia has some great fans, and so does Florida. But in this game that we're in right now, who has the most fans? Listen, I don't know if this was the case, but from a marketability, those Alabama fans, they follow their people wherever they go. They're going to pay whatever price. They're going to travel. They're going to do the things that they need to do. They are loyal fans, not like the Dallas Cowboy fans. They are loyal fans. They loyal. They're going to follow to the end. They are there with their team. There's something to be said about loyalty, guys. So in the end, performance and track record, again, head-to-head competitions and key victories, conceptual challenges and team dynamics, overall impact and team balance, subjective factors and controversies, wherever they may be, and strategic considerations. Now, strategic considerations play a huge role, again, in what happens in that selection process. So hopefully my analogy highlights how decisions in college football and professional settings are often more complex than they appear, involving a blend of quantitative and qualitative judgments and strategic considerations, really, in the grand scheme of things. And so I sit down and mapped out today. I started on my notepad overnight. So I hope I got all these down, and I tried to transfer it by dictate and talk what I teach my students to do on the computer. And so I hope this all worked out. So I have the aspect, I did a grid chart, the aspect, the job candidate selection, the CFP Final Four selection, and comparing that to the lessons learned for the criteria I talked about, including fit, resilience, subjectability, potential, and all of that. So fans, I know you're eagerly anticipating the matchups between these teams, with each game being crucial in determining who will advance to the national championship. These teams' diversity in play styles and strengths will surely make the most memorable football. I, for one, am looking forward to New Year's Day, to the Rose Bowl game, and I am looking forward to the other games as well, and watching this matchup go. What a way. I love games anyway, but like I said, I've really got into the college football dynamics. I didn't go to a big school. I started out at University of Alabama in Birmingham, and then in nursing, and then I went from there to Stanford University in Birmingham, Alabama for business accounting degree. And then we moved around because my ex-husband was in the military. And so we moved around a lot. So I had to move schools a lot. They didn't have what they have now with people online and from anywhere where they can go and do their degree. We had to rely a lot on others. But I love education. I'm always in school, always learning something, and always trying to apply what I learned to what I'm witnessing, what I'm experiencing as a spectator, either in sports or in life. So with that said, thank you for joining me for this special segment of Gridiron Leaders Beyond the Game. Take care.